I remember, and I hate to say it this way, but I was watching this guy on television since I was a little kid, and I'm 56 years old now. So on the phone with me is impersonator and comedian Rich Little, and I'm just going to come out and say it, Mr. Little. I thought you were dead.
Really?
Yes, I was telling the audience I used to play a game way back when in my early radio days called Dead or Alive, and I would mention somebody, someone who was a celebrity, and asked, is this person dead or alive? And about 50-50 cut on whether the listener would get it right or not. So I thought, no, really, I thought you had passed on years ago, and I was really sad about it. And then I find out, oh, you are out there and working. In fact, you will be at the Tropicana for a good long time, won't you?
Yeah, I've been performing at the Tropicana for 5 years, and I've been off now for 5 months, but I'm going back in a couple of weeks.
Okay. But now a friend of mine just sent me a note saying, I probably thought you were dead because you only impersonate dead people. Now, is that, do you have new voices besides the old ones that you've done?
Oh, yeah. I'm adding new voices all the time. I'm doing William Devane, doing the Roslyn Capital commercial.
Oh, God, yeah, right. That's kind of hard to do. How do you get your voice that low?
Yeah, he's got a great voice, doesn't he? I buy my gold at Roslyn Capital every chance I get. I buy from Roslyn because I trust them. Roslyn will beat any coin at any price at any time. But if you don't want to buy from Roslyn Capital, go to your nearest bank. You'll already be wearing a mask. You can take out $30,000 or $40,000 worth of gold.
And all you have to do
Roslyn Capital.
And it just goes on. That's like one of those late night infomercials. I was also asked to ask you this.
How about the pillow guy? He's great to do. This is Mike Glendello, my pillow. You can jump on it. You can spit on it. You can tinkle on it. It's only grown between the Falkland Islands and the island of Malta.
That's right. It's the pillow you put between your knees when you go to sleep. Let me ask you this, because I was asked to ask this question of you. When you order a pizza, what voice do you use?
Well, in restaurants, sometimes I order food as different people. One time, I was in a Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant, and I went into the back, where the cook was, and yelled out in a loud voice as Kermit the Frog, "Help! Help! I am a frog! I am not a chicken! Help! Murder! 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 They're killing me!" And everybody left the restaurant.
Okay, that would be the frog lids on the menu right there. Have you ever just went ahead and, I would bet you do this, call friends and family members and just act like somebody else?
Oh, yeah. I booked myself on airlines that were full up. That were full up if I phoned up as a celebrity,
Well, now if you're going to do that, why can't you call in as yourself?
Well, I don't think I'm big enough. But if I phoned up as Cary Grant,
right.
No, this is Cary Grant. I'm going to go to Chicago on Friday, and I wonder if there's any availability. Oh, Mr. Grant, of course there is for you. And I usually get on the flight, and then when I show up at the gate, I say, well, unfortunately, Cary couldn't make it.
Is the audience, let me ask you this, is the audience mostly, people around my age and a little bit older, or do you find some young people showing up who have no idea who you're doing?
Well, yeah, once in a while. I had a 15-year-old boy in my show a couple of months ago, and he sat in the front row, and I thought, he doesn't know anybody I'm doing. And yet, he was laughing his head off.
Oh, yeah. Well, if the jokes are funny.
Rolling in the aisles.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure it out, because he wouldn't know who John Wayne was or Ronald Reagan. And so I went down to him, and I said, you seem to enjoy my show. He said, well, Mr. Little, I think you're very funny. He said, but I was confused. And I said, you were confused about what? He said, I just wondered why you kept changing your voice.
It's called an impersonate. Do you get to do voiceovers like cartoons, things like that?
I've done voiceovers for actors. that have either passed away or lost their voice.
Wow.
I did Tony Curtis for a movie he walked off on. I did Gene Kelly for a Christmas special when he lost his voice. I did David Niven and Peter Sellers for a couple of Pink Panther movies.
I didn't know that.
I've done a lot of that over the years.
Well, now I would hope if you're going to do their voice because they walked off, then you got their salary.
Well, when I phoned up Tony Curtis and said, I did some voiceover for a movie that you walked off of, he said to me, well, Richard, are they going to pay you? and I said, well, yeah, they're going to pay me. Well, get your money up front. And he said, when you do get paid, I want half of it.
Yeah, well, he did book the gig for you.
Well, you're doing my voice, so I want half of
royalties, basically. Mr. Little, I've been watching you since I was a kid. I just never missed it any time you're on television. I'm glad you are still around. I don't want to cut you off. I want to keep talking to you, but we're running short on time here. Do you have, besides being at the Tropicana, is there anything else we should look for you in or on?
Well, I'm going to be doing the virtually speaking show from my house.
Okay.
On October the 15th, and you can see that show by going to stagehit.com and then put my name in.
Okay. Thank you for coming on this morning. I appreciate it.
Going to be doing that live on the 15th of October.
Okay, 15th of October. Thank you, Rich Little, for coming on the program this morning.
My pleasure.